Hey gang, it's Tim. Yesterday I talked about the role of expert selling in your agency. So how you need to sell your point of view, your experience, and not necessarily the mechanics of what you do in order to position yourself as an authority, because really that is what your customers are buying. But what I really want to focus on today is the power of intellectual capital in your agency. So marketers are kind of horizontal. Agency marketers are horizontal. You deal with a bunch of different kinds of clients. You deal with a big bunch of different scenarios. And what happens is you actually become really good at solving a particular kind of problem. So, it's a lead gen problem or a messaging problem or a presentation problem, whatever it is. You actually get really good at that. And if you look back on your work across multiple clients, you see patterns. And so you become really, really, really good at pattern recognition. And since you've solved this problem before, you've seen this pattern before, you're able to rapidly and effectively apply a solution. Well, that pattern recognition and solution that can be adapted to the particulars of a situation, that's your intellectual capital. And that is what defines your ability, that your expertise, your preeminence in your market is your ability to express that intellectual capital and then leverage it in the right situation. Now, here is a spot where lots of early stage agencies or agencies that are very transactional fail, because you start to think about what you do for your client as a transaction, right? You start to think about it as, we're running this campaign, so you pull these levers and that's it. So you end up wanting to outsource potentially your your service. And we see in marketing forums all the time, looking for a white label agency to do X. Well, I want to caution agencies, even when they're growing like crazy, about the over reliance on outsourcing. So if you don't have a particular expertise and you need it, yeah, I can see outsourcing as a portion of your portfolio, but you do not want to subvert or diminish your capacity to build your intellectual capital. So the way that you build your intellectual capital as an agency is to solve those problems yourself. So even if you eventually outsource, or you outsource particular portions of what you do, as you're growing your agency, it's so crucially important that you build that internal intellectual capital by solving these problems, by recognizing the patterns, by applying the solution, by adapting the solutions to the right area. I mean, it's really, really crucial, because otherwise, if you end up as entirely an agency that outsources the delivery of what you do, then you end up becoming a broker. And so you become the real estate agent of marketing agencies. And that's not what anyone wants, right? You want to build an agency that has intellectual property, has intellectual capital, and in fact, it has relationships with its customers. But if all you are is the middleware between customer need and somebody else doing fulfillment, you're not really living up to the promise that you have. So you need to build the internal process, the internal thinking, the internal expertise to say, this is my point of view, because it is that point of view, it is that ability to focus in on the problem and provide a solution that works. That's what an agency does. So as you're growing your agency, even when you're under stress, you need to pull it in. You need to pull that expertise into you, because otherwise you're just a broker. And brokers are awesome. So anyone who's a broker out there, you're cool. You do a great job matching up, demand and supply. That's fantastic. But an agency is about the intersection of customer need and market opportunity. So it's not necessarily supply and demand. It's about translating customer expertise and customer value into a marketplace through various marketing, into a marketplace through various technologies. So you need to invest in your own intellectual capital every day. And if you are not generating and gaining intellectual capital, you are not building the foundation that allows you to assume the authority of expert selling. Okay? I know it's hard. You might think it slows you down because it's so much easier to take an order, for $500 and then outsource it to somebody else. Well, guess what? You need to be able to learn how to do the things that you're selling because your client needs it. And guess what? You're going to need it again, because once you start to build the intellectual capital, you are able then to apply that solution to multiple different problems, and you can grow your agency without subverting yourself or diminishing your capacity as an expert. And that's it. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.